establishing a no-fly zone in Syria. If the United States goes to do that, are we going to start shooting down Russian jets in order to defend al-Qaeda terrorists in Aleppo? One of the other proposals that came from the head of the Air Force, the U.S. Air Force, is why not just go in and bomb Syrian airplanes on the ground to knock out the Syrian Air Force? Well, under what international law are we doing that? Under what constitutional provision of the U.S. Constitution are we doing that? We're not doing it under any constitutional provision. It's a violation of international law and U.S. law. And so, yeah, they are doing that to protect a bankrupt financial system. And, Dave, I think, I've been doing this for a long time, and I think we're beginning to see more and more people realize that this is not abstract conspiracy theories. And in reality, it's real events controlled by real people doing some really evil things. And the only question is whether the good people, the people who don't agree with these things, will marshal the strength to stand up and say, no more. And I think we saw some of that in the presidential campaign. Not enough, and it wasn't clear enough. But we saw some of that. We're seeing it in Europe now. We're seeing Renzi, the Italian prime minister, who's starting to turn against the EU and say, look, we should be working with Russia and China. The prime minister of Portugal, it's a small country, but he went to China today and said, we look to China for the future. The Greeks are doing the same thing. Africa is turning to China. India, which Obama is courting like crazy, is saying, at best, they're going to remain neutral, but they're part of the BRICS. They're working with the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. So we're losing. And the only thing that we have now is the world's largest and most powerful military. But we're pushing countries to the brink of war, and I mean nuclear war. And so this is where what sometimes people can't make the connection between finance and war. A lot of people say, well, war is a racket. I guess it was Smedley Butler who said that. And, they see the financial connection, but they don't really see how completely insane the paradigm is that's being protected by these weapons and these machines of war. So, this is a moment of truth for humanity, and I think it's important to make this as clear as possible with people that you're not just talking about saving your pension fund by supporting Glass-Steagall and a Hamiltonian credit policy. You're actually talking about preventing a financial and possibly nuclear Armageddon from taking place.
Harley, I agree with you, and I hope when the time comes, because I don't believe that these individuals will back down. I don't think they'll ever give up on their goal. They've never given up in Syria, where they were always looking to get rid of Assad. They just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And I think if they don't get their way, they're going to push the U.S. and other countries right into World War III, like you said. And I'm hoping at that time that people start to realize what's going on, and there is a movement, just like the TPP, the TTIP, where there were protests around the world where they said,
right,
something, we don't want this. Hopefully, and I hope that.
So basically, I'm gonna end on this. I'm gonna end on this scripture, Jeremiah 50, because it basically, man, America's going into World War III. It's inevitable. It's imminent, and it's around the corner. So with that, I'm gonna end it with this Jeremiah 50:9. It says, "For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain, and Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, said the Lord, because ye were glad, because ye rejoice over, O ye destroyers of my inheritance, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bellow as the bulls." It says, "Your mother shall be sore confounded." That's Britain. All right. It says, "She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, because America comes out of Britain. Okay, when you read Revelations, I believe 17, it tells you about the whore that rideth the beast, man, and all the nations will the ten horns. I believe it said it turned against her. You know, it turned against America, or the whore. All right, and it says it hated the whore. You know, why? Because its financial economic crisis is going to lead into World War III. Okay, and with that, you know, it says because of the wrath of the Lord it shall not be inhabited, but it shall wholly desolate. It shall be wholly desolate. Every one that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Okay, and that ain't happened yet, because the ancient Babylon, it dissolved into the Persian Medio Empire. You know, it was still customs and stuff that they were keeping. All right, so but the scripture saying in Jeremiah 50 that it's going to be wholly desolate. Okay, meaning it's going to be nuclear blasted off the face of the earth. You know, and that was just a few points I wanted to bring out. You know, sorry for the length. But you know, Lord willing, you brothers was edified. Those, you know, who the truth, you know, who this is for. You know, it's just more information and dialogue about World War III and where we're headed. You know, so for those, those that have incredulity, it really doesn't matter. You know, because they don't have to believe. The Most High's will is going to come to pass regardless. You know, and that's what people fall short of seeing. You know, it's the Most High's will over all things, because he's bringing, you know, the nation of Israel. He's bringing them back, man. He's gonna take all that shame that we have all throughout the world, and he's gonna turn it into glory, man. You know, it's gonna start with Yahushua, because he's gonna get all the glory. You know, and then we, which are heirs of the kingdom, man, we're gonna feel the same. You know, we're gonna feel that same glory. You know. So with that, you know, like I said, man, this is our salvation. This is culminating into our salvation. Yeah, we're going to get persecuted here. Our names are going to be evil, you know, put out as evil. They're going to hate us. They're going to talk crap about us. They're going to call us, you know, bells above. They're going to call us witches, warlocks. They're going to call us all of that. But we got to endure, because the most important thing is coming. And that is the kingdom of heaven, you know, first with the return of Yahushua. But World War III and the RFID chip is going to usher him in, all right? So with that, I say, call Allah Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, double honor to the apostles and those, that great millstone, and Shalom.